Hey guys, welcome to my channel Top Flight Classes. In this video, we'll cover the theorem number 1.3 and theorem 1.4. Now starting with theorem 1.3, it says, let P be a prime number. If P divides A square, then P divides A, where A is a positive integer. Now, what he wants to say is let us take any prime number. Let us say I take 2. Then I take a number which is a square number. Let us say I take 36. Now 36 is the square of 6. So in this case 36 will be equal to a square, where 6 will be equal to a and 2 is equal to P. So now you can see clearly from here in the numbers that we have chosen that 36 is divisible by 2. That also means that 6 will be divisible by 2. Now why is so? Because if you see over here, 6 is equal to 2 into 3. And if I do 6 ka square, this will become 2 into 3 ka square, that is equal to 2 square into 3 square. So यहाँ से 2 का जो फैक्टर है हमारे पास वो आपका 36 के अंदर यहाँ से आ जाएगा एंड 2 का फैक्टर यहाँ पे भी है. सो दिस इज व्हाट द थ्योरम हैज टू से इन दिस पर्टिकुलर केस. नाउ विल मूव ऑन. So now theorem 1.4 says that root 2 is irrational. Now to prove this we must know one thing, which is what are co-prime numbers. Now co-prime numbers are such numbers which have only one as a common factor. That means they have no common prime factors. They have only one as the common factor. So those numbers are co-prime numbers. Now to prove this, we will require what are co-prime numbers, and also we would want to know theorem 1.3. So theorem 1.3 becomes an important part in proving theorem 1.4. So now let us start with the proof. Now we have to prove that root 2 is irrational. Now what is a rational number and what is an irrational number? This we have discussed in the very first video for this chapter, where we discussed that a rational number is a number which can be represented in the form of p by q, whereas an irrational number cannot be represented in the form of p by q. So now what we do is, in this case, since we have to prove that it is irrational, what I do is I assume. So we write, let us assume that root 2 is a rational number. Now if root 2 is a rational number, it can be represented in the form of p by q. Why? Because it is a rational number and every rational number can be represented in the form p by q. And now here you need to know that p and q are co-primes. That means p and q के अंदर कोई common factor नहीं है. The fraction here, that is p by q fraction, that is in its lowest form over here. Now what we do is, from here we get that p is equal to root 2q. Now we square both sides. So now on squaring both the sides, I will get p square is equal to 2q square. So from here, what I get is that this implies that 2 is a factor of p square, and in theorem 1.3, it says that if p is a factor of a square, then p is a factor of a, where p is a prime number and a is a positive integer. So this implies that 2 will be a factor of p. Now from here we get that 2 is a factor of p. Now we can write is that p is equal to 2r. Now we square both sides of this. So what I'll get is that p square is equal to 4r square. Now in the equation that we mark the first equation, so from that what I'll get is that you can see p square is equal to 2q square and p square is equal to 4r square. So that means यहाँ से हमारे पास क्या आ गया, that 2q square is equal to 4r square. तो यहाँ से अब ये 2 और ये 4 cancel हो जाएगा. We will get 2 over here. So you will get q square is equal to 2r square. Now if q square is equal to 2r square, this implies that 2 is a factor of q square. You can see clearly from here. And this implies from theorem 1.3 that 2 is a factor of q. and this becomes our third statement. Now from 2 and 3, what I'll get is that 2 is a common factor of P and Q. You can see over here 2 is a factor of P and 2 is a factor of Q. So that means 2 is a common factor of P and Q. But हमने शुरू में जब हमने लिखा था that root 2 is irrational, we wrote over here, you can see that let us assume that root 2 is a rational number. So root 2 will be equal to P by Q, where P and Q are co-prime numbers. Now since P and Q are co-prime numbers, इनका 1 के अलावा कोई भी common factor नहीं हो सकता. So that means this will contradict our assumption, but this contradicts the fact that P and Q are co-prime numbers, and therefore our assumption is wrong and root 2 is an irrational number. Hence proved. So guys, thanks for watching the video. For any doubt regarding this video or any other topics, you can contact us on email or WhatsApp as shown on the screen. Please like, comment and share this video. For more videos, subscribe to the channel Top Flight Classes and click on the bell icon so you do not miss any updates. Happy learning!